Okay, so there's 1, 2. I burnt that one off at black self. 3, 4, 5, 6. You see these little shadow spots, right? And most of these weren't there. If you look at the last YouTube video, you'll see you'll actually see. Oh, I didn't have the beard, but you won't see any of these. This one's got to go as well, and they itch and they twinge. Since I've had a directed energy weapon, basically a radio transmitter aimed at the back of the house. Now, if you can imagine an umbrella, if you've got a transmitter, the antenna's on the roof, you're under the umbrella, so you're okay. If you aim that transmitter at someone's house, that's actually a federal offence. That's actually a Commonwealth offence. And so what happens is the trees at the back of the house, I'm going to post a clip which shows mango tree completely burnt off above the fence line, citrus tree all mutated above the fence line because the colour-blind fences act as a Faraday cage. And we had, give you an idea, your average modem puts out 300 to 600 milliwatts. So just imagine one broken up into 1,000. So 3 to 600 milliwatts at about 3 feet. Depends on how strong your modem is. Go out to 6 metres, you're probably only getting about 150 milliwatts. From the bedroom, actually the whole house, to the house 4 houses down in a straight line. And I went to the house and I measured out the front of the house and the energy sources coming from the house. The woman inside the house is a New South Wales police, current or serving New South Wales police employee. She even said she had the same degree, 3-year degree, or 3 years, it's not a degree, anyway, 3 years of university doing forensic science. When the cops turned up to say, "What are you at the front with a meter walking up and down the street?" Because it's my business. And she even laughed about it. And that's the source of the house it was coming from, which I'll post as well. Now, I was getting 6.5 volts, which is 6,500 millivolts. 6,500 millivolts coming from a house 5 houses down, which it's a war crime. It's federal crime, it's Commonwealth crime. It's actually New South Wales crime as well. I think it's APRA or something like that governs it. They said that's not 50 milliwatts. I said 50 watts is the point at which the microwave is faulty, and that's standing next to a microwave. And I said, trees are dying, my face feels like it's burning, your skin gets itchy, your kidneys start aching. And when this happened over 9 months. Now, when this happened, no matter how many times I rang up, no one would do anything. And when this did happen, like the last time, that was the worst. And my father went into hospital 2 days later. And when I was feeling it, he went into hospital 2 days after that. And 2 days before that, when it started, or the night before it started, the next morning a copper comes in. And what this does is it makes you really agitated. You can't sleep. So it's like being sleep deprived. So you're really angry and agitated or stressed. And a copper, which I will post as well, literally tried to break in through the back door, come in through that fence, all right, that lock fence, and then that door over there. And he was actually coming in the door. And my mum answered the door. I was walking back from the front door because I thought someone was knocking on the door. I was in the back room. And she said, and I said, "What are you doing here?" He goes, his words were, "We didn't see any activity from the house. We don't know where he was." All right? Now, you see the video, I play the whole video out and I say it right at the end, and you watch his face. And he wouldn't repeat what he said. Right? He was trespassing. My father said, "Get him out of here." Every time they turned up, my father said, "Get him out of here, I don't want him back." So every time they turned up here, it's criminal trespass. All right? I was acting on my father's behalf when I told them, "You're now criminally trespassing. My father doesn't want you here." Now, my mother's terrified of him because she knows what they've been doing to my sister. She's got the same cancers across her face. My dad died of a tumour on the side of his head. He went for a biopsy, and instead of doing a scrape, they drilled into it. And he said it's like the guy was trying to cut into the bone. The doctor was told to cut into the bone, spread the cancer into the bloodstream, into the bone marrow. All right? We know this. Helen Sagunas, a doctor from Victoria, they've tried to psych test her, all this kind of stuff. And she said Satanists are literally running the AMA down in Victoria. They're literally telling people to, say you got meningococcal, give them the drugs for that, and he doesn't even have it. That will put you in hospital. That's how toxic those drugs are. So you're almost dying. They give you these drugs, and the drugs are that toxic, they kill organic matter, which is what we're made up of. But it targets that bacteria first. And she's literally saying that in Victoria, they're getting told to target patients who aren't sick with drugs, which will almost kill them. Right? Because what they do is they they create a trauma in your life or a relative's life, and it distracts you, and it's called a trim tab. Right? The methodology behind it is, or the mechanism behind it is, if they can veer you off on course by 1 degree over a year, if you look at that in terms of a boat, that's a long way off where you would have been. And then in that year gives them enough time to apply another method, and it's called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. This is, never had any problem with any spots. I've got a couple of spots here. I've got no cancers on my hand, no arms, and I haven't worn sunscreen. I've always worn hats, broad hats, hoods, right? I've been a welder, but I've always had hoods on, full face hoods, glasses, flash UV resistant glasses, inside a welding helmet. My eyes are fine. I've got a couple of Teresians, but this area down here, on the side here, up around here, never been exposed to sunlight. Not that I don't use sunscreen. That's why I don't get cancer. Anyway, don't use deodorant. Don't get underarm cancer. Don't get breast cancer. Look it up. And what happens is, all of these things have started to itchy, and when this radiation's happening, right? And then what happens is, you start thinking, well, hang on, I've been indoors for 2 years studying. How the fuck are these things just going in the last 3 months? Crazy. But in the last 9 months, they've just been aching, twitching, aching, and you see down here it was moving. I could literally feel it up here, and it spread across here, and one over here. And this is literally from a targeted attack. I've had British Special Boat Service turn up. Oh, he just happened to meet me in the train, then asked me my weight, tells me he's doing wet ops in Australia, got all these photos of all his tattoos. He said, take a picture of me Reggie docs. He had his ADF tags all around his neck, all these clearances. And he said, no, that's real. He said, I don't even know who I am anymore. I said, what do you mean? He goes, I sold my soul a long time ago. I said, what do you mean you sold your soul a long time ago? I said, your soul's on your fucking feet, mate. And I know what he meant. He's had to pull back within himself, and when you start taking orders from something else, then you start being controlled by other entities. And I said, mate, all you got to do is go and ask forgiveness and spend the rest of your life fucking trying to help people out. Maybe targeting the people who fucking got you to do all that stupid shit. I said, you're working for a bank, that's it. And this is just random shit. Fucking people are supposed to be helping, setting me up. The list goes on. And it's literally a war, right? And they say, go to peace, go to peace. I'm not a fucking war. I'm trying to get my kids back and get back to living a long life. And they're using subjective constructs, subjective matter, persons, individuals. They're making all these terms, but they won't define them. Even the word income. In means no, and come is the mind. A beautiful and comely woman. Well, that's a beautiful and intelligent woman. Because when you come to your senses, you become awake. Come means awake. Yeah? Come around, come to. Right? It's all about consciousness. And that's why they fluoridate you with hexafluorosilicic acid, hexafluorosilicic acetate, and sodium fluoride, as well as lithium, which is what they're putting in all your waters. Now, for any of the women out there, and blokes got slightly stronger oils in their skin, but for a lot of the women out there, the fastest way to age is to put acid on your skin. Cellular destruction. They banned acetone in my industry, and it's totally restricted. Right? Can't come in contact with it because all your hands, it damages the oil producing parts of your skin, and then your skin doesn't have the protective oils, and then it oxidizes and you get cancer. Well, that's what acetone does in my industry. All right, now hexafluorosilicic acid is more toxic than that. Hexafluorosilicic acid, hexafluorosilicic acetate, sodium fluoride destroys in a 100% concentration will destroy a human cell in under 3 seconds or under 6 seconds. This is what they're doing. It's a war crime under international law. We're not humans. We're not hues, colour of man. Right? We're not person as per the rights of the son, because the son is chattel to the father. Everything they're doing, resident. You're not a resident of New South Wales because you don't need a passport to be in New South Wales. It's a political subdivision. It's nothing more than that. It's a political construct. Pol means heaven in Latin. A crime. Unless you've harmed someone, you haven't committed any harm. And then they say harm is crime. It's not. Crime is a charge. Right? The word crime is a commercialisation of harm. Okay? The only way you're going to stop crime is to treat harm with harm. Someone rapes someone, get a baseball bat. Someone breaks someone's arm, break his arm. It's as simple as that. That's how you stop crime. You want to stop it all, there's always a 3%. but they use subjective constructs and subjunctive language, which means, right, it's all based on a hypothecation. So you get thrown in jail for a pre-crime. Yeah, you could, if you keep doing this, no, it's not. You're always going to have the fucking 3% of retards. And the more you educate people, the less crime there'll be, because they have a better consciousness. But they don't want that. That's why they put the fluoride in the water. That's why they're putting soy in the fucking bread. Right? Don't eat soy. Start growing my own veggies. Right? Fucking make my own bread. Don't drink the tap water. And learning Latin, learning Comedic language, learning Latin language, learning French, and getting all the definitions of the law book in my head. All right? Get accosted by police all the time. Every time I take off with a phone in my pocket, they follow me. I'll be out in the middle of nowhere, 2 motorbikes will turn up on the side of the street, and you'll see that clip as well. Oh no, here you go, mate, we're just pulling up. No, you don't. They're act friendly. Fuck off, idiots. And they're coming out, just out there for money. That's all they are, out there for money. All right? The Auditor General says we need to increase traffic fines. Well, the Auditor General's part of registered to another entity in America. It's got nothing to do with Australia. It's owned by someone in the Commonwealth, the Queen, and all the rest of the ratbags, because they're illegitimate and they're actually fucking agenteurs. Agent, you are. Agent, you are. Agenteur means you're an agent. Read English backwards, you'll start seeing it differently. Government. Ment is from mentis, which is of mens. Governor, govern, governator. All right. Means, say it backwards, mind control. Right, so what's basically going on is silent weapons for quiet wars, directed enemy weapons, using radio transmitters, something as simple as that. And I'm not sure how they're doing it. I think it might be an oscilloscope, and they're using a particular frequency. And a mate of mine's an electrical engineer. I can't regurgitate what he said, but he said, this is not normal. I'm not one of the retards who just pumps all the fucking processed foods. And another one is if you can get wheat and grind it yourself, it's got an oil in there that the mills extract. And apparently if you eat that, it cures heart disease. So there's another one. Just something to note anyway. All right, I've done my bit. I'm going to post this. I'm not crazy. I'm really pissed off. The cop said you're mad the other day. Oh, yeah, fucking oath I'm mad. I lost my kids, lost my house. And I'm going to do not a status correction, I'm just going to sort this shit out so I don't have to deal with it ever again, and my kids don't have to deal with it ever again. And I've been offered, I've been bribed to shut up, go away, 3,000 a week, set up a foundation, all the rest of shit. Not interested in it. Just want to be left the fuck alone. And that's it. This stuff burns like fuck, especially around here. But it's good stuff. Black Self. Elaine Hollingsworth. There's a couple of doctors that put up websites, and if you make it their way, basically it'll kill you. It's 4 plants, 2 minerals, and essentially you could buy it in the 70s. You could buy it in the 1970s, 1980s. You could buy dynamite and go and move a rock instead of paying some idiot come in with an excavator and just fuck up the whole site. And people didn't get upset. You could walk down the main street. In fact, there's a 60 Minutes clip or a news clip on the internet of a man walking down the main street in Sydney with a shotgun in his arm over his shoulder. No one gave a shit. No one gave a shit. Why? Because they're all fucking white. Weren't no fucking Arabs. Weren't no this. Weren't no that. Weren't no traumatised Arabs is probably a better way of saying it. We didn't go into their country because of the Jewish bankers and fuck with them, and now they've got a chip on their shoulder, which they have a right to, because we've got these fucking Jews who are really the Saudi family. It's really the House of Saud Jews, Ashkenazis, Zionists, nothing to do with Judaism, the tribe of Judah, tribe of Benjamin, actually. Judaism, Talmud, Torah. Torah's a good one. Talmud is the ones who are fucking with us. So that's basically what's going on. It's all banker-made, banker-derived, and it's just so they can harm us, right? They get to collect the estate if they kill you off. People go, why would they make us sick if it costs so much? No, they're just plundering the estate. It's the birth certificate. It's a Citus Trust. Right? Google it, Citus Trust. It was created by a foreign entity without your knowledge, without full disclosure, and they trade it like a stock, and it goes up. More productive you are, more productive the company is, the more it's worth. Then they start a war, but they don't start a war with the most productive countries because, they're making shitloads of money out of you. They'll do it with the poor countries, the Africans. Right? Not worth much. Like knock a few off, make a bit of money. Then we can go in there, get rid of the people like they're in South Africa, get rid of all the white people who were there before the blacks. Look it up. Koshina people were the actual South African Bushmen. Right? They signed treaties with the Dutch, and basically, the blacks coming out from the north seemed to come out of fucking Rome, Egypt somewhere, and slaughtered them all, slaughtered the whites. It wasn't white people going around doing it. White people are the most peaceful people on the fucking planet, unless they're government, which are the bankers, going in there and fucking it all up. Police are too stupid to fucking realise. Cops are waking up in terms of they're not picking fights anymore. Someone starts speaking on us. I had a cop the other day said, "Oh, you're a sovereign citizen." I said, "Well, no, you're actually got the crown on your shoulder, and you're an Australian citizen. You think you are, so therefore you're a sovereign citizen, mate. I'm sovereign. So over reign. Here's my crown. Here's my temple." They don't want you to know that. What happens when the doctor sees your baby getting born? He looks at the baby getting born. He goes, "He's crowning now, crowning glory. The man's coming out. All right, man-child. Yeah, not child. Child means to kill. Anyway, there you go. Directed energy weapons. Too much information. All right. Same as my father. Same as my sister. Trees burnt. I'll post that clip. And only certain trees are dying. Certain shrubs are dying because they're the cell structure is susceptible to the same as ours. All right. The other proof to back this up is these are same. The Russians use the same technology in the 1970s on an American embassy in Russia. I think it was Russia, and everyone got cancer. So this is what their goal is. If you need to combat it, if you're getting agitated, something going on in your house, and you're part of the people who are waking up, then you need to get yourself a HF35C. It's from Germany. HF35C. It's an acoustometer. It'll actually lead you to the source. Right? It's a directional acoustometer. It gets louder. It only goes up to 2,000 milliwatts. It only goes up to 2,000 millivolts. Right? It only goes up to 2 volts per square meter. 2,000 millivolts. Right? I was getting 6.5 at the back of the house. That tells you the difference between German standards and Australian standards, where there has to be 50 volts or 50,000 volts at the back of the house, and the German meters only go up to 2,000 millivolts or 2 volts. 2 volts broken up into 1,000. All right, there's my clip. 17 minutes. Shit, better sign off. Directed energy weapons. It'll turn the simple spot, and I've got no history of cancer, apart from my father dying recently. He had no history of cancer up until 80 years of age. 77, sorry. All right. Not a pretty sight.